Hello, and welcome to Spilling My Guts, episode number 2. I'm your host, LightSpiller79, and this is my show. Man, there's so many topics that I wanted to get into. I've just been so busy, man. I haven't even had the time to get into a lot of the stuff. First of all, I just wanted to, I'll just let you know, I'm pretty much going to be a lot of talk about Sony in this episode. Stats, figures, things going on currently. And the big thing that I wanted to talk about is why I'm choosing the PS4 over the Xbox One. Anywho, the first thing I wanted to talk about my gaming goals. Just wanted to give a status update on that. As far as my game setup, I finally got that set up. That sounds redundant. I actually got that taken care of probably about a week ago. I was able to put at least 9 of my consoles on display. Now I have them hooked up and everything. And that's working out really good because I also have switches. So pretty much all I got to do is just hit a button, hit a switch, and pretty much it changes. So I can be able to switch. Let's see what I have hooked up. I got my Sega Genesis, PS2, Slim, the original Xbox, my Super Nintendo, my GameCube, my Nintendo 64, my TurboGrafx 16, my Sega Dreamcast, and my Nintendo. As far as my other systems, they're in other rooms. Usually I keep them in the living room and stuff like that. But yeah, I finally got that accomplished. Now I'm still working on getting another shelf. Once I get another shelf, get everything organized to my liking or to my degree, then I'll go ahead and do a video about it. I might do a video about the game setup because I'm pretty impressed and I'm loving it. I was able to get all my cords wrapped up and nice with some zip cords. The wife, she pretty much worked with me as far as getting the shelf. As far as the organization side of things, she left it up to me. So I spent probably about a solid day or two on it because I had to split everything up because the Switch that I got only holds about 4 games to it, like 4 or 5 games to it. So or systems, I should say. So I had to split some things up. So anyway, back to my main topic. Reason why I'm choosing the PS4 over the Xbox One. First of all, when I was just looking through some of the sales at the time when I got the stats, the PlayStation had already sold like 5.3 million PlayStations at that current time. And then another big thing for me was the multiplayer, basically like third-party games. They're performing at a much higher rate on the PS4. Recently, Greg Williams from Xbox, he actually said some pretty profound things. Actually, he said it last year, and it's just really coming to light this week or last week, where people are starting to do some comparisons between the PS4 and the Xbox One. I'll just give you a snippet. It pretty much was talking about Xbox One purposely didn't aim for high-end graphics. It's pretty much become like a target for an entertainment system. And this is some of the things that he said. We know that the PS4 is using a supercharged GPU, pretty much the graphic card. And we're hearing that the Xbox One isn't aiming for such high graphics, target with its own GPU. Now, a video interviewer with Engadget confirms it. We purposely did not target the high-end graphics. We targeted more as a broad entertainment play, said Greg Williams, one of the engineers who worked on Microsoft's latest hardware box. Now, to me, I guess the thing is, you're going to have your defenders, and this is coming from a person who's really not biased. I mean, to a certain degree, I've always loved Sony products and stuff like that, but I have to say the Xbox 360 did win me over because I did have the PS3 and the 360, and I found it as a gamer and as a collector, it was a diverse range of new games to play and new things to do. But I am more of a gamer. I don't need to be entertained. That's why I have cable, and I got the ability to be able to go on the internet and be serviced by other devices and stuff like that. So I guess my main purpose and sole purpose when I get a console is for gaming. You know, it's nice that I able to play my Blu-rays and stuff like that on my PS3 and everything, and you know, being able to streamline Netflix or Amazon and going online and stuff like that. And you know, now these systems are allowing you to go on the internet, and that's cool and all. But really, the main purpose when I turn on my PS3 or my 360 is to game. I'm not looking for anything else. So graphics alone has always been the overall seller. And then, of course, we're going to look towards games and stuff like that. And we're going to be wowed by those kind of things. We're going to see what turns out. And another big thing that happened this week, the PS4 topped over 320,000 units in Japan in just 2 days, which is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then also this week, in comparison, the PS4 just topped WiiU's lifetime sales. They both started around the same time, but it was just almost a year apart to the day, like November of 2013. I think the first week of November 2013, PS4 came out, and then a year before that, 2012 November, the Wii U came out, and it just actually passed its sales. This is more current news that I just found later on. Currently, the PS4 has sold 5,847,194 units, whereas the Wii U, as of now, has sold 5,765,482. So we can look at it as 5.8 and 5.7, which is kind of damning information. And, you know, people, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that I probably would never be interested in the Xbox One. This is just early headline news that's coming out, things that are being said. You know, I am just one man who just giving his own opinion about how he feels about those things and what I see future wise and what I'm thinking may transpire. You know, something else that I just recently found out is that the Xbox One will be doing a price drop, as they said in the beginning. It said there will be, as far as the Titanfall that's going to be released, there's going to be a bundle for $500, and that'll allow you. Not all the information has been disclosed as far as how many gigs. I'm thinking it's going to be the same, 500. It's just that you're going to be able to get Titanfall bundled with it at a cheaper price. They didn't say if the Connect would be included or not. So it's just one of those things where you're going to have to kind of figure it out for yourself if this is something that you want. I think it's a plus to reduce the price. It's a price, especially with everything going on with the sales. You know, PS4 is definitely dominating in all regions, United States, Europe, UK, and in Japan. And with the release of it being just now being brought out in Japan, the sales are only going to increase. Little information here and there being released about it is just going to make it that much more of a difference. So yeah, I definitely am interested in that. Now, another bundle that I just found out about that just went on sale that I am definitely interested in. Like I said, it just kind of adds on to the reason why I would want to get a PS4. I heard about the infamous Second Son bundle. I looked it up online. It's $570, which is a little bit more steep than, you know, but it comes with, looks like it comes with a year PlayStation Plus. It's got 2 controllers. This is available at GameStop. It's already a bestseller. So that means it's sold an extensive amount of systems. And the PS4, I know it's been hard to track down. I've been eyeballing it, like I said, for quite some time, and I had the opportunity to speak with a couple people at the GameStop, and they said pretty much you can order it as a bundle, but none of the bundles have been interesting. I think with the Infamous bundle, it spiked everything, but I'm still going to hold off for a while until I just feel like I really, really want to get it. Like, this is just going to tip me over. I definitely want to have Infamous 2. So it's definitely one of the games that I have piqued interest in. Now, moving on to what I saw with the sales, as far as the software side of things, NAC had, obviously NAC had sales. It was #1 this week, over 330,000 units for the PS4. Second place came the Donkey Kong Country Tropical, sold over 200,000 units for the Wii U. Yakuza Shin showed 140,000 units for the PS3. The Lego Movie game, 100,000 for the 360. Fifth place came the Yakuza Shin, 80,000 for the PS4. Now Lightning Returns, over 75,000 units for the PS3. Minecraft, 66,000 for 360. Dragon Quest 2, 65,000 for the 3DS. Killzone Shadowfall, 64,000. And it's actually at the point of almost closing in at 2 million units sold. And GTA 5 came in 10th place, 62,000 for the PS3, which is kind of funny, because the thing is, GTA 5 been out for a long ass time at this point. And mind you, these sales are worldwide. I don't like to just give one region sales. I like to give, I like to go like a broad range. Now, something new that I wanted to do was a pod question. I get asked a lot of questions on my YouTube channel, comments in my videos, and on Twitter, and occasionally on Instagram and stuff like that, and other things. And this question actually comes from Tim McKay, one of my good Twitter buddies. Every now and then he drops in and he watches my videos and likes them and stuff like that. He asked, what are your top 3 GTA radio stations? And the first one that actually came to mind was from Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Emotions, 98.3, because I love the 80s pretty much. Big thing to me. And, you know, even though the 80s had a little bit of cheese factor to it, it's definitely entertaining. Then third question, or the second station, was GTA 3 game radio. That one actually gets heavy rotation. I pretty much know all the songs by heart. There's a few other stations in there, but when I was just thinking about top 3, that's what my main focus was on. And then my third favorite station would be from GTA 5, Radio Los Santos, and also the Nonstop Pop. Those 2 stations, if I had to choose, I know I put Radio Los Santos. Probably it had more heavier rotation. So those are my 3. Emotions from GTA Vice City, game radio from GTA 3, and Radio Los Santos from GTA 5, and maybe Nonstop Pop. Those definitely stood out for me. Now, there was something that I was watching that that kind of made me think a little bit, you know, and not a lot of games do that, or not a lot of YouTube videos just really sparked my interest, I guess you can say. I was watching, and he's a really popular YouTuber. He plays games. He does just a bunch of discussion videos, and one that just kind of stood out to me was The Cost of Fame. It was by Boogie 2988, and he was talking about Total Biscuit. and he was just going in and talking about the cost of fame. And he said, you know, this guy used to do Let's Play videos and all kinds of videos, and was heavy into comments, and you know, and not comments, but he was heavy into doing those kind of videos. And you know, he's built such a great following. But the big thing that stood out to me was, I guess, the sheltering or the isolation of feeling alone. Because, and this is where my relation to the cost of fame, you know I don't have like a big channel or the cost of being a famous YouTuber. He said what started to get to him was the comments that were being left, emails, rants, hate mail. I think even somebody found out his location where he lived at, and threats and all kinds of stuff, you know. And some people were probably just being heinous and just throwing out these kind of slurs and stuff like that, or just being malicious with their words and vindictive. But I guess the part that stood out to me was the comments. And I don't get them very often. It's just that when I start to do videos where my opinion is not everybody's opinion, it's almost like you stand alone on a comment that you've made or your opinion, and you're letting people know this is how I feel about the specific situation. Sometimes you get backlash. With that being said, it's just that I've been told things like, you're ridiculous, or this is crazy that you're doing this channel, or, you know, you're a grown ass man, or, you know, or you need to do this better, or you don't need to do that, or, you know. And it is like, at the same time, I only get about somewhere between 30 to 50 comments a video, where people with the bigger channel starts to get multiple ones. And something that Boogie 2988 said was that stood out even more to me, is that you will listen to the 20 positive comments, but that one that got through sticks with you the whole day. And thumbs down don't mean nothing to me, because thumbs down just means somebody said they didn't like something. That's what no comment. But when you put your hard-earned money, work, time, effort into doing these things, then it comes across like somebody could walk. It's just like going into an art gallery and all your work is on display, and somebody comes by and you allow them to leave comments, and they just say this is piss poor, or they say this is garbage, or this ain't art, or this ain't good enough, or you need to do this better. And the comments that are positive, they stay with you, but that one stays with you the whole entire day. That one negative comment that could seep through. And I don't always expect everybody to love everything I do. I don't expect everybody to love my craft. I don't expect everybody to love all my videos or watch them or just think the world of all the things that I have to say. But there are times where I see people make comments like, as though they want me to do this better. Oh, I wish you would do it like this instead of doing it like this. And this is not from a defensive standpoint. It's just more of trying to get people to understand that this is just a one-man show, and this is just a hobby. Something, and it's all, you know, I have to be honest, it's something that's kind of evolved into something more of doing what I love. And I'm hoping to make this channel bigger. The reality of it all is that people have to understand this is a small channel, and I work with the resources that I have. So what I'm providing, I usually try to meet somewhere within the 90 to 100% range. Like, even when I'm doing these podcasts, I don't sit here and just shoot off a bunch of thoughts. I actually go and do a bunch of research. I do homework pretty much because I love it. You know, I'm passionate about it. And if you haven't learned that about me, that's a big deal to me. And so this video just stood out to me just because you are exposing yourself to the world, not in a literal sense, but in a sense that you are making yourself vulnerable to comments. You know, And you have to have tough skin. And I've learned to develop that because I've put out videos that have just got straight up trashed and talked bad about. And it's just, now I can look on those things and laugh about it. But I notice as the times that I'm growing and I'm trying new things with my channel, people are ready to tell me what they want and what they need. But then when you look, these people don't even have any channels, or these are just listeners or watchers or subscribers, or they could just be gawkers, people just passing through for the moment. So you just have to learn to separate. And it's not always easy because not everybody's going to love your craft. But anyway, to get off the little rant. Now there are some things that have actually, surprisingly enough, that was just a YouTube video that I saw that just stood out to me. Something that has been spilling my guts, and that's companies that are shut down. If you haven't heard, or if you don't know, Irrational Games, the creator of BioShock, they've closed. And I think his name was Kevin, the creator of BioShock, was not necessarily the owner of BioShock. He decided to close doors. Well, they decided to close doors. And I just wanted to read some of the stuff that was kind of to debunk the myths out there. A lot of people have been saying that one of the first myths was that Irrational Games is closed because BioShock cost $200 million to make and made a huge loss. And saying that both of these facts are very wrong. Actually, they made a profit. They just seemed to, they needed to go somewhere else, go with another direction. BioShock Infinite was actually very profitable. Take-Two CEO Stratus announced in an investor calling in May of last year that the game had sold 3.7 million units and was already commercially successful. Another myth was that Kevin Levine shut down Irrational because he's selfish, which is absurd in itself. Actually, Kevin cannot shut down Irrational because he, just like I stated before, he's not the owner. It belongs to 2K Games, and it was a parent company to Take-Two. And so another myth was Take-Two killed Irrational and put the blame on Kevin to save face. Again, a bit of a silly accusation, as far as better for a faceless corporate business to take the blame for any job losses. You know, it just, he decided he wanted to do what. Now, what I do like that Kevin decided to do was go independent. And a lot of these companies have decided, people that left big companies, you know, like I can't remember the creator of Gears of War. He was on a big team. He decided to leave. And actually, I think he just stepped away from gaming altogether for the time being. But I commend him for doing that, because I think independent is the way to go, you know, because you just get to use more innovative ideas. And that's what I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking for my mind to be blown away with a new idea, a new concept, new IPs. You know, it's fine to have those games that are a bit of the norm. You know, redundancy ain't always a bad thing. Sometimes I think people look at that and like, oh my God, you're playing the same exact game. Like, people get bent out of shape about the Mario's, Donkey Kong, Zelda games and stuff. And it's like, people, if you don't buy the game, it won't sell. If it doesn't sell, it forces people into new corners. So I'm glad that the Call of Duty games sales have decreased, not in a negative way, more in a positive way, because that's going to push forth something else. That's letting the buyer know, or that's letting the company know that the consumer is looking for something else. We're looking for different things to play. We don't want the same thing anymore. I love Assassin's Creed, especially in the beginning, but some of it's becoming a bit redundant, and that kind of redundancy is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for them to expand. You know, I hear talks of Santa Monica having a new IP, which is awesome. You know, I'm a big God of War fan, and the unfortunate thing for them is that they just opened up a new studio, but they had like a massive layoff. You know, those are people's lives, you know, and that changes things for them. Now they got to do things differently. But I believe that with new IPs like The Last of Us and Watch Dogs, and, you know, even in the beginning with Infamous, you know, that was a new IP. It was a new innovative idea. It was a new concept, something that expanded the horizon of a gamer and made you think, wow, is it possible for us to do this? Or is it possible for this to emerge? Yes, it is. And so I thought that was pretty cool, you know, and I commend them for taking that step down and doing it in a good style, in a good fashion, where he wasn't forced out. It was more of, this is something I see as a new opportunity to do on my own. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was definitely something I just wanted to spill my guts about, because that's actually been bothering me a lot, is these big companies just making it hard as hell for these small companies. You know, like I was saying, with Call of Duty taking up about 50-60% of the market, making multiple billion. I can respect Take-Two with Grand Theft Auto, because at least they wait every 5 to 6 years and then they drop something. And see, that's my thing. I don't mind Call of Duty being out there, but I don't want to see you every year. I don't want to see the Call of Duties. I don't want to see the FIFAs. I don't want to see the Assassin's Creeds. I don't want to see all that bullshit every single year, because you can only step up the technology so much. If you give time to a certain thing, then over time it will evolve, it will grow, and it will look a lot better. If we saw Assassin's Creed in 2018 and 2013 being the last time it came out, we'd be pretty pumped. The enthusiasm, as you can see, the market grew tremendously, anticipation for Grand Theft Auto. Because the last time we had it was like, what, 2008? And then it came out in 2013. It was like 5 years later. You know, that's a big mark of anticipation. You know, that was building up to a momentous moment. And it meant something when it came out. And they did it in a big way. And so, yeah, it definitely wowed gamers. Even gamers that didn't even like Grand Theft Auto played it, loved it, and played it again. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, you know. And also this year I'm hoping to go to some gaming conventions. If you live in the state of Texas, because I know a lot of the people that I talk to are overseas or in other states, but I'm hoping to attend, because last year I actually got to attend my first gaming convention, was the Screw Attack, and it's coming back again this year. It'll be coming in July to Dallas. And then I've actually stumbled on this one website that had a bunch of retro gaming conventions and stuff like that, gaming conventions, period. I saw a classic game festival that's coming up in August, and then the Retropalooza, which I think they moved the date to September. Originally, I saw November. I think they're going to move that, and that's actually going to be in my back door in Grapevine. So there's just a few things that I'm actually anticipating. Some more stuff that I've heard about Sony. Actually, not even the more stuff I heard about Sony. It's just I guess my last little part about it is that I think Sony is definitely going to win the race on this. I think Xbox is going to eventually find its common ground and they're going to pick up. But I think Sony learned a tremendous amount of things from its last situation. I think what happened was, with that cell processor being their chip, it was so hard for games to, or gaming companies or production companies or whatever you want to call them, to process these games. It made it difficult. Now they're using regular chips and stuff like that. And it's like, for everything they fucked up on they learn from. And that's got to come from a humble place in order to do so. And I think they're going to reap the benefits in such big amounts. Another thing, actually, there was something else I do recall. At this precise timing, right at about the 3 to 4 month mark, PlayStation 3 had only sold about 1.3 million units, whereas the PS4 is at 5.8. They've already quadruplified pretty much their sales in comparison to what they had with the last console. So see, they've already learned a tremendous amount of things. They were like, we charge about $700-800 from down to $500. This console is cheaper than the last console, which says a lot. I mean, the last console was absurd with its prices. I think I paid about almost $600 for my PS3, my first one anyway. I'm up to my fourth one. But I guess the big thing that I just wanted to say, I think Sony has learned to humble themselves a lot more. Now they're working with indie games companies in a big way. They got a lot going for them, and they learn. Of course, people eventually got over having to pay, because PlayStation Plus, even though they still have online free to a certain degree, PlayStation Plus is pretty much their underlining way of charging you and bringing in money on the back end, which I have absolutely no problem with because of all the free games, bonuses, discounts, exclusives, and stuff like that you get, pretty much what Microsoft already been doing. So it's like, get over it, folks. I mean, you don't want to lose a good product because of small things as not being able to charge. So I think I commend them. I commend Sony for learning their fucking lesson and how absurd they were with their pricing. And that damn cell processor is going to forever haunt them. Even though they sold 80 million units, they probably could have sold way more. They probably could have at least sold 100 million plus, a lot faster than Microsoft. And that's why out the gate, they are the leaders. They are going to win this generation. They are definitely going to kill it this year. I can see them selling at least 10 million units this year, probably even more than that. I mean, they're going to open the floodgates and they are going to rip a hole in Microsoft if Microsoft don't get it together. But based off of the things that I've talked about today, these are the reasons why I'm getting a PlayStation. There is no question. When I think about it from the front end, how the device looks as far as a console, it looks innovative. It looks futuristic. It's got a little definition to it. But then when I open it up and look inside, the processor, the chip, the speed, I mean, there's even more. I mean, there's information coming out all the time. The frame rate is able to keep up. Xbox is not. These are just facts. You can look it up. All that information is available. They even just talked about it today as I was reading about Titanfall. It will not come out in 1080p. Why? Because they use cheaper parts. And, they try to cut the costs. And it's all backfiring. And it's backfiring in a fast way. It's going to show up 1080p on a PC. And I think even eventually, if the sales suffer tremendously, it's going to switch over. They'll come out on PS4. They'll know that they got to eventually supply to us. All games eventually do it. I mean, they come out, they try to be exclusive to one party. Unless it's exclusive in-house, it eventually comes to other parties. I mean, or other companies. So eventually we'll see it on the PS4. I know it's a lot of bold statements to make, but it's just what I've seen. Being around this world, being around gaming for so doggone long, there's a lot of things that I've learned. Money talks, bullshit walks, power over other things, and their success was what's going on. Sony got it right. Microsoft, they better get it right or they're going to get burned. Because right now, I think it's only about 3 million units, 3.5. They're closing almost at 4 million units that have been sold for the Xbox One. And they got way more units sitting out there than the PS4 that are available. Whereas the PS4 is far in between. They're at least they're accessible now. They're still expensive. And the software is not up to par at this precise moment, but eventually they will be. So that's my main reason why I want a PS4. I definitely see my eyes on the prize. So yeah, eventually I'll set it up over here and play it too, and start to stack up games and stuff like that. But other than that, this is Spilling My Guts. It's your host, Life Spiller 79, and I'm out.